lot of you are going to relate to this question. It says, it's so hard to put the value financially, dollars, dollar sign, to my work. I want to give away everything, but I need to pay bills. Any suggestions? What other empaths out there listening resonate with this? Do you also feel like it is edgy or uncomfortable or feels selfish or greedy to assign a dollar amount to your work? Do you resist putting the price that you really want to receive in return for whatever you've created, product or service? Do you resist putting that number on a sales page or something because you're like, limiting beliefs are coming up. This should be free. No one will want to pay me this much. Whatever your internal dialogue is. So I want to start by saying that I get you. I see your big empath heart. And I know you want to heal the world. And I know you want to give back. I know you see the suffering. I know you literally feel the suffering. And that is part of the challenge. You literally feel the suffering and you have something to give. So you feel like you should give everything you can away for free. Who has that internal dialogue? And while there certainly is a place for being of service and expecting nothing in return, there is certainly a place for that. Being of service does not automatically mean that there's zero compensation for you. You can be of high service and be highly compensated for it. And you can mix that in with being of service and expecting nothing in return. I find that in my business, one good way to balance this, because I want to be of service to the world, not just in the containers of my programs and services and trainings, but also for causes that I love. And part of the way I do that is just donate money to nonprofit organizations that are working on issues that I care about. And I don't expect anything in return. However, when we do, like you said in your question, I have bills to pay. And you can show up and be of even higher service when your bills are paid and when your basic needs are met and when your root chakra is grounded. So I want you to just consider this for a second. Every time that you pay somebody, I know all of you listening have expenses each month. Every time you pay for those expenses, so it's an exchange of energy, and we'll use the example of literally the energy bill, your electric bill, if you have one. When you pay for your electricity to stay on, it's an exchange of energy. You pay X dollars so that your house can stay lit up at night and your lights can stay on. Maybe your air conditioning can run. You can plug in your computer. I can record podcasts. And that's an exchange of energy. Now I want you to think about some of the things that you have downloaded or gotten for free. And let's backtrack just a second, actually. Do any of you feel like it's a question on whether you're going to pay your electricity bill each month? Like, you're just going to do it, right? You need your power to stay on, so you're just going to do it. Now I want you to think about those things you've gotten for free. Maybe it's just a freebie on some other coach's website or email list where you got an ebook, or maybe you got a course for free. Maybe you participated in a challenge for free. Maybe you got a gift for free. Maybe someone gifted you some furniture, or you might have gotten an opportunity for free. And as you think about some of the things that you have been given for free, do you value them as much? Do you value them as much? Probably not. And there's certainly going to be some exceptions. You may not even complete them. So let's say you did download a 50-page ebook. What is the likelihood that you're actually going to read every single word on all 50 pages of that ebook? Let's say, this is a little outrageous, but let's say that ebook that was 50 pages was $1,000. How likely are you to read every single word of those 50 pages if you paid $1,000 for it? A lot more likely, right? So now I want you to think about something you have invested in. We just talked about or considered something that you got for free. What is something you've invested in? What is something maybe that you invested in that was at the edge of what felt comfortable? Those are the ones I really want you to think about. Like, whew, that definitely was at my upper limit, and I did it anyways. I just invested $10,000 in my business last week. That's at the edge for me. One time, well, I'll give you a few other examples. It doesn't have to be in your business. So when I lived in Chicago, I signed up for like a summer concert series, and I bought the few $100, I think, like ticket to like probably 6 concerts. It was like all country music. And then I also invested in this bus, so you could like buy a spot on the bus because it was out in the suburbs. And so you'd meet at the bar, get on the bus, and they would trek you back and forth to these 6 different concerts. And at the time I was making $20,000 a year. And so that couple $100 pass plus the bus ticket was a lot in my budget. And I went to every single one of those concerts. I showed up and I enjoyed every single one of those concerts. They were amazing. But I think about if I had been gifted 6 concert tickets, would I have gone to all of the concerts? I don't think I would have. I truly don't. And like my introvertedness would have come out, or I would have made excuses on how I had too much work to do, or it's too far away to drive, or whatever. It's too much time. I don't think I would have gone to all 6 of the concerts. Last year, I paid $10,000, invested $10,000 into a coach, a one-on-one coach, and I showed up for every single one of our calls. Like, duh, of course I'm going to show up for every single one of our calls. I can even see this in the what I've recently offered all of you. I offered you a donation-based $5 minimum, like the lowest possible investment you could ever look for. And there was 20 people who signed up. More people who showed up live invested at like the $20 mark. And then the people who invested at $5 were like, well, whatever. If I don't come to Sarah's workshop, then it's not the end of the world. I only invested $5. I can't say that's actually what's going on in people's mind, but my guess is it's like, oh, $5 if I show up, cool. And if I catch the recording, cool. But what if I had charged for that 90-minute workshop $500? Don't you think that more people probably would have showed up live? I think so. There tends to be this circulating belief, especially in the coaching world and the service industry, when you are providing value or helping to facilitate change and transformation, that people don't like to pay for that. That people don't like to pay you. And I want you to pause for a second and ask, is that really true? Is it really true that people don't want to or don't like to pay you? When I reflect on my life and the things that I've invested in, again, I fucking love paying for my breathwork sessions with my teacher. I love paying her for those sessions. I get so much out of those sessions. I wouldn't want to participate in those sessions for free, honestly. I feel way better about participating in that hour and a half of breathwork when I have compensated the teacher for her beautiful ability to hold space. I also love to pay for new books on Amazon. I love buying my books on Amazon. I do not expect any of that to be sent to me for free. Somebody painstakingly looked at every single word inside that book, edited it, paid for it to be designed, wrote it, spoke from their heart. Yeah, I'm going to pay for their book. I love paying for food that nourishes me. And I love being able to know that even though I pay more for food than I would say probably used to be comfortable for me, that I can still feel good about that because I know that the smallholder farmers or local farmers are being fairly compensated for the labor and love that they put into growing and harvesting the especially fruits and vegetables that I eat in my home and are in my refrigerator right now. I love paying for these things. I'm not saying that our way of currency and money and our economy is perfectly set up, because it's not. And it sucks that we do have to like depend on money, and but it's a fact of life. It is a fact of life. And there's an opportunity for us to look at our own money mindset and how we're projecting that onto others and assuming potentially that they don't want to pay us, because it's not true. There are some people who are going to be like, oh, it's too much. And they're not going to want to pay you. There's going to be some people. But that's not the case for everyone. There are also people out there who are excited to pay you. And those are the people you want in your containers. It can actually be an enjoyable experience. And again, it's always an exchange of energy, and it always works out better in the end when it's an equal exchange of energy. So it's often a disservice to your community to undercharge for your services, for what you're truly worth. And side note, your worth doesn't come. There's no dollar amount that defines your worth. There's no dollar amount that defines your worth. That is inherent within you. But there is an energetic number that you can assign to the amount of maybe energy or wisdom that you're putting into something that feels equal, that feels fair. I also noticed that it's common when you undercharge that your clients don't get as big of results because they're not as energetically invested. And you can use some of the examples I just shared to portray that. So do them a favor and do yourself a favor and charge what feels good for you. And if there are still icky things, limiting beliefs, critical thoughts that are coming up to the surface, that is an opportunity to work on your own money mindset. It's an ever evolving and ongoing process. I can speak to that from experience. I'm still in a money mindset journey. And plus, like I mentioned, you also can serve your community way, way better when you are grounded and your basic needs are being met on a continual basis. Okay? If you guys have questions about this, I'd love to hear in the chat box, and I hope that this is resonating with the person who asked. I don't have your name up right now, sorry, but also everyone else who's decided to jump in live. Love you guys.